Well, and welcome to another episode, Let the Truth Be Told. My name is Sean Williams, and I am so excited to be in the studio once again on this morning. Got two of my great friends with me, and we're going to get to it. I really appreciate Ethan and Jason being in the studio in the backdrops.
Yes.
You are my guys, man, that keep us going over here at UPTV. Thank you for the banner. Being able to provide this great program for us. We're going to get right to the program. We got a lot of ground to cover this morning. Thank the Lord for everybody on our Facebook Live that's tuned into us. Stick with us because we got some great topics to talk about on today. So this is going to be a great program. Big shouts out to everybody that run into me in the streets and say, man, I watch your program every Sunday night. Man, I really appreciate it. We've been going strong for about, 10 years strong. So I really appreciate it and appreciate everybody that's tuned into me and that poured into me, man, because I couldn't do me without you. So I really appreciate it. My man, Hub, I really appreciate it. Got my good childhood friend, Chico Hines, with me. Hub, I want you to go ahead and
get a shout out.
Get a shout out. Just go ahead and
10 years. I didn't know you've been doing this 10 years.
Come on, man. It's almost
10
like,
years.
Man, come on,
a South Buck.
Oh man, come on, man.
Man,
Congratulations.
shout out to him.
Yes, sir.
10
Yes, sir.
years.
Man.
I thought it was like 4 or 5. I remember Stacey Henry, but before that, I don't remember.
man, yeah,
You know what? And consistency is important in leadership. Consistency is in 10 years. Y'all clap it up out there in TV land for my man. 10 years.
Well,
so
it's funny how time flies when you're having
fun. Man, they talking about death, man. I ain't got time to die. I got purpose.
Well, just give him your introduction right now, and then let's go ahead and let
Okay,
Chico
introduction. Herbert Burnett, my man.
All right, and then over to my right, I got my man Chico Hines. Tell us a little bit about yourself, Chico. And we've been friends for a long time since we were kids. Your mom, my sister, great friends, and your mom took me. And I always reflect back in this when anytime I see a body of water and I'm about to go attempt to swim, I think about your mama taking us over to the YMCA.
You just brought something back that I forgot about.
Yeah.
I got a lot of other memories, but you just refreshing one that I had definitely forgot about.
All right.
And the lessons.
Yeah, and so tell the viewing audience a little bit about yourself. Your family man, and your church you attend, and things of that nature.
All right. My name is Chico Hines. Family man. I have a daughter who's in the service. Bree. She works at the Pentagon. My son, he's a senior. Just had cotillion last week. He escorted prom, wrapping up. Hopefully we can get him on and off to better endeavors in college and off to a great career. My wife, who works with troubled kids.
Okay.
So, and we're also foster parents.
Okay.
So, just trying to make a difference for the betterment.
Well, what church you go to?
I do the Pilgrim on Mondays.
Okay.
And do Stone Creek.
Okay.
Okay,
that's what's up. That's what's up. Great family, the Hines family. Your granddad and them. I gravitated to your family a lot. You guys had a lot of males in your house, in the household. Your grandfather and them, and so 4th of July's, and then New Year's Eve. I love coming over there because we was gonna hear some gunshots ringing.
Oh,
we get to sit around there,
Right,
back
right.
in, kids had their place.
Yes,
we
sir.
had our place, so we'll sit back in the backdrops.
Right.
Long as we was quiet, we went in their way, we
Right.
could see the what a male role was
Yes, sir.
in the household.
That's good.
And
That's
so
good.
so I thank the Lord for your family, just allowing me to be a part of the family, growing up. So I really appreciate that. My brother Hub, you got some introductions that you
Yeah,
want to do,
just
and some shots
some
out.
shouts out. First to all the cotillion ladies. Another year, a lot of college-bound young ladies and the young men that escorted them. So we want to send shout-outs. Also, Lady Diamond Walker. Boy, that name is ringing. Lady Diamond Walker, a junior at Centennial High School. 56 college acceptance.
Wow.
$400,000 in scholarship money and 5 free rides. So, man, we send a shout out to you, Lady Diamond Walker, and your parents, whoever they are. We salute them too. because you're sending a message of hope
Yeah.
all around the city.
Yeah.
I think WCIA was going to air them. Then they said they wasn't going to air it. Went back and forth. But I believe it was aired last night.
It
and
was.
so thank
It
you,
was.
WCIA, for being consistent. We need you to be consistent so we'll know who we following.
Yeah.
See, when the leader's not consistent, we don't know who's going to show up. Which one of your, as Beyonce would say, which one of your alter egos? So we need you to be consistent. So hats off to WCIA.
Let me pause right there for
Yes,
Diamond
sir.
Walker. She was on my program, 90.1 WFT, Sunday morning program, Unity for the Community. She was a part of that. So I really appreciate that young lady. I've seen her over Centennial, trailblazer over at Centennial. Trailblazer over
Yes.
Centennial. She led the Stop the Violence March last year. Put the guns down, those type of things over at Centennial. Big shouts out to you, Diamond Walker. Continue to be a leader within your peer group.
Okay. Then we got William Kyles, who hosted the Black Chamber Mixer at Neal Street Blues, was phenomenal.
Yeah.
18 to 35, we need you there. 18 to 35, y'all the game changers, because y'all ain't scared. We need y'all. Tracy Dates hosted a professor, I cannot remember her name, Lord help me, yesterday at the Boys and Girls Club. Shout out to Tracy Dates for bringing a lot of the leaders, youth leaders together. I have to be honest, I was more impressed with the people around the table coming together than I was with her, and she did an excellent job. But I was even more impressed with everybody coming together because teamwork makes the dream work. And last but not least, E. Mark Perelmore graduated about in 87, moved back here in February, and has written over 40 books, most on mentoring young men. So Rantoul is where I do most of my work, but I am a high school assistant coach at Urbana for Coach Jones, and I'm an alma mater. My alma mater is Urbana. So I want the whole listening audience, if Urbana High School does not reach out and holler at E. Mark Perelmore, who's an 87 grad, who's written over 40 books, mostly on mentoring young men and women, shame on you. Thank you.
Well, I sure appreciate it. Big shouts out to everybody. My good high school friend, Mark Perelmore, big shouts out to you, man. I was so surprised to see all of those books and all those things that you have accomplished. And most of all, I'm proud of you for being able to come on back to the house. You know, so many of our friends, people that grew up in the community, they move away from the community, and whether they're doing good or they're not doing so well, to be able to come back to Champaign and share what information, what knowledge you've learned across the country, and those visions you have learned across the country, things that you've seen, things that you've heard. Come back and bring that back to the community so that our community, the home front, can grow. Because that's what you did. You went to go get the education to come back to the home front and be able to bring us all up. Yeah. But when you just go away and you get it for yourself, then that means you no longer want to help everybody else that was behind. And so you don't see the Asians do that. The Asians come to the University of Illinois, get this great education, and go back to the home front and share with China. And now China is one of the leading countries around the world. So that's what we got to do for each other. But as we get into this program, and so I'm going to read something off before I give you the actual title, and then we're going to go into our dialogue today. So let's get hot and heavy, buckle your seatbelts, because we got some great stuff to talk about on today with some great gentlemen that's going to help us with this dialogue. So this is, I always bust it out, and this is the Washington Post, the Huffington Post. This is the Huffington Post, and I left my glasses, so forgive me if I mess up a little bit. But it says the black man is no longer visible in America. Invisible in America, I'm sorry.
You good.
He is a moving target. If you happen to be an African-American male between the ages of 15 to 34, you are 9 times more likely to be killed lawfully or unlawfully by local police forces than in many other racial demographics living in America today. Okay, then I'm going to jump down. African-American boys are failed and criminalized at school, and only of the total 2.3 million inmates behind bars, 1 million of them are African-American men. The African-American males, young and old, are from all walks of life. are more likely to be killed by police in suspicious circumstances than any other group of color. Okay, and I'm going to drop down again. The black communities often complain that black cops are more heavily handed than white ones. Okay, and then let's drop down a little bit more. Let's drop down a little bit more. So it's gonna go into more dialogue, more about police shootings. But 92% of all social problems are because men are not in the household. 90% of all social problems. So you mean domestic violence? You mean murders that's happening? You mean crimes that's happening? And gangs and gang violence and then all of the different social problems, things that's happening with young folks with not being able to go to school properly and learn, and all of those different things that we want prosperity and what we continue to try to strive for. All of when you break all it down, all the common, all those things that Miss Washington tried to show me over to school when it came down to algebra, and you tried to dissect and get down to the last common denominator, it break back down to males in the household. So the topic of today that we just came up with is men, the target and the solution. So men, not just African American men, but men. You know, men are the target, but we're also the solution. So we're going to get to being the target, how we're so targeted, how we're so broken, how we don't see ourselves as having no place in society right now. You know, and so we've listened to a lot of stuff. I listened to a lot of T.D. Jakes. I listened to a lot of Eric Thomas. I listened to a lot of Miles Monroe. I listened to a lot of different things, you know, just trying to cleanse myself from all the garbage that I done took in to try to fill it back up with something positive and enlightening to be able to keep my daily struggles going, you know, and the daily progress.
The Bible calls that trying to put new wine in old baskets.
Oh, you went heavy with me already. And we always come with a spiritual aspect to this program.
Yes, sir.
And so I want to be at a dialogue with you on this here,
Yes, sir.
and on this topic, because of the fact that men, the target
and the solution.
You know, and so when we came up with this and what we talked about on the last segment, we talked a lot about Nipsey. You know, and so when you're in charge,
yes, sir.
When you're in charge, and we talked about, you know, shooting the coach.
Yeah.
You know, when the world was created, you know, God decided to build Adam. First man. First man. He built the man. But now the man has no role. The man's out here in limbo. You know, when I run across guys and they say, man, I'm just living, man. I don't know what to do. We find no purpose. No purpose in life. And it's because the blind done led the blind. Nobody has any structure. Nobody has any basis of what we're trying to do. You got no blueprint. How can we build a building if we have no blueprint?
Anytime you don't have structure, you have destruction. And see, when you don't know what your purpose is, you can use a microphone as a hammer, right? But the microphone shelf life might have been 20 years.
Right.
But when you begin to use it out of its intent purpose, then the shelf life shrinks. So now you're using a microphone as a hammer, so now it's lasting 20 minutes instead of 20 years.
Wow. And so that is so crazy, you know, how men have no value. We got a sense of no value.
Let me throw this out there before we get too deep in, because I heard this from Miles Monroe. It originated all the way back to World War II, when the men, and this is Miles Monroe, you know, I'm gonna give him his credit. He said in World War II, they sent the men off, but the factory still needed workers. So they hired the women who had been used to being home, raising the kids, cooking and cleaning. And so when the men got back, man, the women went at home and the women had their jobs.
Right.
So role reversal.
And what was that you just said?
Role reversal.
So it was a role reversal.
Role reversal.
You want to elaborate on what the role reversal is?
Well, kind of like he said, when they went off, the job still needed to be maintained. Mm-hmm. So they went off to war, but the ladies took the men's place. Mm-hmm. And so you kind of see, like he also talks about in the video about women having their own. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? So if you don't have nothing to offer and they already got everything, what is your role?
I'll tell you what the role is. To the left, to the left, to the left. Everything you own, to the box, to the left. You must not know about me. I can have another you in a minute. Woo!
But the only thing about
Woo!
that's not how God purposed.
No. But that song was number one.
See.
Everything you own in the box to the left. Man, this my house, these my kids. Everything you own, I put in a box to the left. You must not know about me.
So,
pride.
So let me ask you this. Does that work like the microphone and the hammer?
Exactly.
Microphone and the hammer.
Yeah, exactly. Because you ain't in your intensive purpose.
Right. So you
See,
sure
that one word you said, role. See, we got roles. God, in the beginning, had defined the roles. Right? And so, I mean, I don't want to get too deep, and I don't want to offend nobody.
No,
right.
So,
you teaching.
Yeah,
you teaching. You teaching.
And so, I this is my third marriage. And so one thing that I discussed with my wife, because she's a very, very educated Cornell University type of gal. So the first thing that we discussed was the L. She said, what do you mean about the L? L stands for love, right? Mm-hmm. But a lot of couples, women, have taken the L out. So instead of completing the man with an L, they take the L out and they compete. So I said, baby, in order for us to make it, we got to keep the L in there. I need you to complete me. I can't be whole without you. God gave you me as a helpmeet to help me do his purpose. So we need to keep the L incomplete, because if you take the L out, now we're competing. And that's what you see a lot. You see a lot of competing.
So what I'm taking that you guys are saying, and what you're saying, Brother Hub, Brother Chico, is that it's hard for a good man to be a good man when you got a good woman trying to be a good man.
Because before World War I'm gonna say this real quick. Before World War II, the woman was so grateful for him to bring food home. She was so grateful for him to dress the kids in clothes and go out there and work hard. Now she got her own clothes. She can get her own nails done. She can get her own house. Matter of fact, you came in this house.
In her house.
Right. My wife owns a house in Danville that's way bigger than the house we in now. But I wasn't moving in her house. No, sir. You take that house and you rent it out, do whatever you want to, but we gonna live in my house. And when we move here pretty soon, it's gonna be our house, but she ain't gonna be able to put me out. It's a lot of men living where a woman can say, get out. And see, that just kills your self-esteem. That kill everything about a man. See, a woman need love, right? When they get on a plane, Chico, they used to show baby pictures. Now they get on their phone and they show pictures. Chico, when I get on a plane and me and my man talking, I'm handing him business cards. See, women are relational. We positional. When you introduce, what do you do? I'm Sean Williams. I got 17 jobs. I work for this and I work for that. The introductions at Neal Street Blues, you know, the men were proud to tell. And the women were too, proud to tell what they do. But women, when they connect, they showing kids, grandkids, and all that. But some of them, the spirit just hit me. Some of them ain't even like that no more. They've been so deceived to now they trying to show their business cards.
You know.
But that wasn't how it was intent.
Correct.
In the beginning.
Correct.
And so World War II put some salt in the game.
So my question, are we working out of purpose? Trying to get to where we're going.
Yeah, it's tough, man. it's tough. It's tough. I thank God for my wife because I said, we're going to be co-pastors. He said, no, you the pastor. He said, I'm comfortable with the first lady. I don't want to be no pastor. That's your role. I'm going to support you. I appreciate that because she got honored last night. Shout out to Stephanie Yvonne Dixon. She got an award last night with Danville for working with the youth, one of the top after-school programs in Region 8 and 9. And so, but it's man, they got to know their role.
So let me ask you this. If the women have repositioned themselves and take a man role, how do we get back to our purpose, to where we need to be?
Man.
In today's world, because today's world don't look like yesterday.
I like that.
And I think we're gonna get in that more.
I like that.
Men, the target, and the solution.
And the solution.
And so we'll get back. We're gonna get to that because I'm gonna talk about some things that's gonna help us get to where we need to be at. I think we're gonna get to that. One of the things, Reverend West was an old school guy. R.I.P. to Reverend West. Down there for the community. When I got down there, he used to always say, "I'm gonna chuck a brick at you." So and chucking that brick, he mean I'm gonna throw a little angle to it, and I'm gonna throw a little angle to it. It's hard for women to put trust into men.
Woo!
After so many men have let them down.
Yeah.
Okay?
Just say this. Men that don't know their purpose, don't know where they going.
After so many men have let them down. So when you...
Define let them down.
So let them down.
Let's
let them down. I'm your daughter.
Okay.
I'm your daughter. But you said you would be there. You said cotillion. And so I'm counting on you to get me that dress.
It's getting hot in here.
I'm counting on you to be in the audience. I'm counting on you to just hug me before I go.
And be reliable.
Be reliable. I can count on you.
Yes.
And you dropped the ball.
Yes.
I was born. You wasn't. You wasn't at the hospital. Young lady, I carried your child for 9 months. Put up with all your garbage, and now you say you ain't the baby's daddy. Now we got to go to Maury. We got to go to divorce court just to show the DNA testing. All these different dynamics, social dynamics are happening now.
I submit to you, for the men's lack of vision. I submit to
and so once we and I understand where it's coming from for me being a man and being being the owner of a barber shop of men.
Yes, sir.
And listening to men for over 25 years.
Yes.
Broken men.
Yes.
I've listened to broken men. I've been one of those broken men.
Yes.
From my dad not being in the household.
So let me ask you this. So this is not just an incidental thing. This is a common thing.
Yeah,
It's the norm.
It's been in some aspects culturally designed.
Yes, sir.
Strategically
designed.
designed.
Yes, sir.
And so, but see, that's where we go. But see, that's where we finna get back into the more biblical aspect of it, because the devil is here to kill, steal, and destroy,
and deceiveth,
and deceive. So so what has happened is that and you will see it, and you'll see it right off the beginning.
Yes, sir.
It go all the way back to Genesis.
Yes, sir.
And it's gonna start all the way from the beginning.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I tell you, you the preacher, but I'm gonna bring a little bit to the table.
Come on, bring it.
And so you the
keep
preacher,
me
though.
sharp.
You the preacher,
Sharpen me,
though.
brother.
You the preacher though. But
iron sharpen iron.
But see, what the devil did is he played it a little bit. And he told Eve, he said, man, you gonna be smart, man. You be smart. You be just like the rest of them.
Talking to Eve.
Yeah, talking to Eve. See, and see why Adam was working. You know what I'm saying? He was doing what he was doing, or whatever the case might be. So then he slid up to the woman. Man, you be just like them guys, man. You be just this. Man, go ahead, y'all eat. So that's a lot of times where the discourse can come in at. Go ahead, preacher.
Everything you said except for one thing, but it's the most powerful thing. The devil came at Eve, but Adam, passive punk, was right there listening to the whole conversation. A lot of people miss that. But for those of you who think I'm wrong, go back and read it. It said Adam gave it, the devil gave it to Eve, and Eve ate it, and Adam was with her. Eve gave it to Adam, who was with her. That might not be the correct word, but Adam was right there when the devil came at him.
And how many times Ethan. How many times have the men have let the family structure down?
Right. Well, can I say this?
Jump in, Chief.
That's good, man.
I agree with what you're saying, but a lot of times we don't know what we're dealing with until we get to the aftermath. And so when they was in the garden, she didn't know that she was dealing with the devil. She was having a conversation. He didn't come in the form of I'm deception until she had been deceived.
Wolf in sheep clothing. Calm voice.
So a lot of times we dealing with the deception and it don't unveil itself until after the destruction.
Calm voice. When everything's already broke up.
Yeah.
And so, with this issue that's going on in men, because I didn't deal with men a lot, you know what I'm saying? I dealt with the guy one time that said, man, I don't want to be free no more. I'd rather be locked up.
Wow.
Because being locked up, I don't got all these problems. I ain't got to work. I ain't got to take care of my wife and the kids and be here and, get back on the right track.
Too much pressure.
It's just too much going on.
Wow.
Because he felt as though it was easier to be a part of a system that added structure where he didn't have no responsibility into what was going on. See, and so in society right now, you have the freedoms and the choices and all these other choices and then to be there for your family and then as that leadership role as the man.
Correct.
Because I'm supposed to lead my family into what they're gonna do. They don't just be my family of crash dummies.
Right.
Here, crash dummy. You heard what he said, crash dummy. So when the woman saw that the fruit was good for food, and that it was delight to the eyes, and that the tree was to be desired to make one wise, she took of it fruit and ate, and she also gave some to her husband who was with her, and he ate. He allowed her. See, we're supposed to be the protector. Women need security. And so they need to know that they're safe. And the ways they know that they're safe is that we can protect them in the home, or back in the day, money. They can't be worried about how bills gonna be paid. Women are emotional. They get off target when they got to worry about bills being paid, their phone being done, their nails being done.
So let me go get 2-3 jobs. Let me go get this check.
Elaborate on that crash number, because you're right there where we need to be.
So Section 8 provides some money for me. Link provides some money for me.
Check this out. Section 8, I give it to you, but you can't have no man. Get the man out of your house.
Ain't that something?
Divide the family, but no, your man cannot live with you. If he does, you have to pay $900 extra. I'll make $8 an hour. How am I going to pay that? Well, that's what you're going to have to pay if it's a man in the house. We don't want vision in the house. We don't want insight in the house. We don't want leadership in the house. Strategically,
and
you said it earlier.
So when the man don't no longer
Sean, this is good.
So when the man no longer know his identity anymore.
So it tells you, he says, my people perish
About it.
Lack of knowledge.
for the lack of knowledge. My people have gone into captivity
Yes, sir.
for a lack of knowledge.
Yes, sir.
So in a way, we still captive to a lot of stuff we talking about right now.
Chico brought up a powerful point. Chico asked in 2019, not in World War II, in 2019, how do we regain authority? You know how they try to regain authority? By force or abuse. Now, because I don't know my vision and you trying to go a different way because you, catch this, she tired of following a parked car. Who wants to follow a parked car? A man that don't even know where he going, and you trying to lead me, and once she say that, now he slapping her in the mouth, choking her. because he's frustrated because he don't know how to lead because he hadn't got taught. So the way he want to regain authority, Big James used to say buffalo him.
Yeah, get control.
You want to buffalo him by force or abuse.
Mm-hmm. Scare everybody. Talk loud.
Or reenacting what he had been taught.
Because he seen his daddy do it. The granddaddy did it. His
It's
daddy did it.
It's important.
His daddy did it.
In Genesis 20, Abraham said Sarah was his sister. He lied. Abraham lied. In Genesis 21, Isaac was born.
Mm-hmm.
In Genesis 26, Isaac told the same lie. What's my point, Hub? Isaac wasn't even born when his daddy lied.
Mm.
But 5 chapters later, he told the same lie.
Mm-hmm.
Generational curse.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We think because I don't want to tell my son that I smoke weed because he gonna do it. Now, if you don't tell him, he gonna do it. You need, young lady, you need to tell your daughter what happened in 73 in the rocket in Douglas Center. Because if you don't tell her, it might not be that rocket, but it's gonna go down somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
One of the biggest things that we've been told is what we don't know won't hurt us.
Mm-hmm. Biggest lie ever told.
Mm-hmm.
Most of the things that ever hurt you in life is something that you didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying? A lot of times they say, if you know better, you do better. Well, I agree with that to a certain extent. It depends on how much more you know, depending on how much better you'll do. Because when we first grow up and learn how to put our shoes on, and we take 2 steps and they fall off, well, we know how to put our shoes on, but we don't learn how to tie them yet. So how much better would we be once we learn how to tie our shoes? They don't fall off.
Yes, sir.
You see what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things we learn how to put on, but we don't know how to tie it up.
You know, and it's a lot of things that it's just generational stuff that was passed down, man, that was just nonsense. I just keep it 100 and real. Let the truth be told.
Let the truth be told.
Let the truth be
In
told.
the views
Let the truth be told because they didn't know.
Right.
So the easiest way for them to not answer a question is get on over there and set up. You know, stop saying nonsense.
Or what's the number one?
You know,
don't question me.
Yeah, don't, and they say that even in church.
Can we go spiritual?
They even say that in church.
Before I could.
Yeah, come on, man. I've been around church all my life, man. No question, God.
Hey, I'm climbing up the rough side of the mountain, and the scriptures say, "Speak to the mountain." What you doing climbing the mountain? You're
supposed to speak to the mountain, and it's supposed to move. If you have the faith of a mustard seed, you know, I've listened to all those things, but we also say faith without works is dead.
Yeah.
And so if we don't drop back, because one of the hardest things for when I was telling these young kids, right, and I was talking to young kids over there at the Goal Getters, and I'm using me an example, and I'm telling them, look, man, because I didn't learn this in Miss Polly Washington's algebra class, it's percentages.
Yes, sir.
I had to go back at 40 years old, suck my pride up, and have to ask somebody, man, can you teach me percentages?
Yeah.
Because I just got beat out real bad because I didn't know about percentages. Sometimes we have to go back and relearn or get some basic knowledge.
Or just stay refreshed.
And then that too, stay refreshed because some things that I told the old man at the gym, you know, he said he was 87 years old this morning lifting weights and working out. He said, but the guys told him, man, you're going to have a heart attack in that gym. He said, you know what? I'd rather have a heart attack in the gym. At least I'm going to make a good looking corpse. hey, but he said the guys that told me that, he said all them dead now.
Yeah, all of them.
He said all them dead now. What I'm saying is that you still got to keep it up because when you don't use it, you lose it. So you got to keep on because you never know. It's so many diamond walkers out there watching you ladies.
That's right. That's right.
And while us out putting out all these bad examples and generations after generations, and we keep on breaking down diamond walkers that could be getting $400,000 and $500,000 on scholarships that got aspirations to be a lawyer. You see what I'm saying? We got young men out there that want to go, that could be going like Keywan said, I want to be an astronaut. I want to work at NASA.
Yes, sir.
But instead, I'm climbing through a window.
Yeah.
at a neighbor's house.
Sean, 2 days ago, I had to set my daughter down. She's 8th grade. I came into her life probably at 5th grade. And so all her aunts and uncles, probably 80% of them went to Ivy League schools. She just broke the record over at Atlanta Middle School. I think it's the hurdle record. But I got a call. She got 11 tardies. But they want her to go run in the track race, you know. And I'm like, no. Now, we painting the picture that her mom went to Cornell. She wants to go to Cornell, following her mom's step. You can't be getting 11 tardies and go to Cornell. No, where they do that at? And so I ain't gonna say I'm your number one fan, because I can't take the place of her mama. My mama number one fan. She ain't gonna miss the track meet. I might miss one every now and then. But man, that track don't mean nothing to me if you getting 11 tardies, right? Because you gonna be late. What you showing me, you gonna be late with your filling out your application. You gonna be late with your financial aid. This is what you got to clean this up, else you ain't gonna even see Cornell.
You know, what Brother Chico, Brother Hub, one of the things that I hear you saying right now is success is intentional.
Yes, sir.
You just don't get successful just by happenstance. You know, not all of us is so lucky that, and we think we are, but not all of us is so lucky where we gonna go down there to the local corner store and play $2 on the number and mess around and hit for $300-400 million. That don't happen to all of us. So we have to work at it. You know, so when you talk about working with your family, and even though that ain't your biological daughter, as the leader of the house,
catch this, I'm responsible
for what happens,
hey, listen,
a fail to happen on your watch.
This is why I need the ladies to hear this, because this is where the disconnect comes in from the spiritual point. I didn't meet the girl till she's about 9 or 10. Her mama carried her for 9 months. Ben Ritter took her to class with her senior year. But once I said I do to the mama, God holds me responsible.
See,
not the mama.
And that's even what
I'm responsible.
And that's even with the men.
And I don't take it lightly, Chico.
And that's even with the men. You know.
You shouldn't.
And that's even with the men.
Amen.
And so, and even if you ain't, what I would tell the men, even if you're not married to the young lady, even if you're not married, you know, my stepdaughters and stuff that I'm not married, but my stepdaughter, my daughters. So even as I seen my stepdaughter today, and I sit down and I talk to her this morning about behavior and things, and she really thumbs up. But what I told her, is this: first thing to do is go to God about it. Because you gotta add that other, and we're gonna get to that aspect of it, because all of those things, because you cannot be successful, man, if you don't know no blueprint. If you don't know no blueprint, if you don't got no blueprint, people think, and culturally we've been taught this. Look, man, just go to school, get a good job, and go get a family, and it all work itself out.
Programming.
And then after that,
you can't inherit no 9 to 5.
And then you can't inherit what is that's E. Mark Pelmore right there. And so, and then once you do go to church, they tell you, because I do these funerals all the time, listen to these guys all the time, man. And when life been so in disarray, and you know, and so disarray, and so we listen to the sermon, and oh man, he finna go to the land of milk and honey. Streets are made with gold. You know, got a mansion. He got a mansion for you. But this the views and opinions of Sean Williams. But what happened to giving them meat as far as how successful life should be?
Right.
How successful life should be. There you go. And so on earth.
On earth.
Because things should be great on earth.
On earth.
On earth,
Yes,
things
sir.
should be great.
Yeah, I got heaven right here.
I mean,
on
if
earth.
God owns everything, and it just behooves me, if God owns everything, man, we should all be a part of it.
Yes, sir.
Especially if you in somebody's church, you connected, you know the word. If you didn't heard, I just told somebody this, man, you done heard 5,000 sermons, man, and you ain't doing right. That's because you don't want to.
Sean, that's heavy.
If you going ritual, you been going faithful. We just had Easter. This your 1900 Easter outfit and you killed him. You killed him with an Easter outfit.
Killing
You went
the
down
game.
the hub, you done killed the game.
Yeah.
You done listened to every Easter Sunday message.
But the thing is, you said something powerful. You killed them on the outside.
Yes, sir.
But
you
inside.
but you're dying spiritually.
Yes.
And inside.
So you dealing with a double homicide
Double.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
on the same person.
Family structure. And then when you go back to that family structure, man, let me tell you something, man. I'm gonna tell you, this views and opinions of Sean Wade, this me. When Hickory Street was at its worst,
Okay.
okay? I'm on Hickory Street. I'm part of this. My brothers and all my nephews and nieces and stuff going down. And so when it's all going down, right, I'm steady saying, no, man, you shouldn't do that. Man, no, I ain't gonna do that. No, that don't sound right, man. You shouldn't did them like that, man. And so they couldn't see it then. Because so many times we got the blinders on. We can't see it.
Well, it's safe for those that can see, let them see. Those
Right.
that have an ear to hear.
And so, but my role at the time, and I didn't even know my role at the time. I didn't even know. I was just walking by faith and not by sight.
Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm just walking. But I'm telling them this, and then over the years, they was able to say, man, you know what? That stuff Sean talked about the other day, probably I should have listened to him. And over the years, now it took everybody else, and they done got better. But somebody got to be the bad guy, man.
Can I say this? As I notice now, like with my son when I'm teaching, you know how when we was growing up, we got outfits that was too big, but eventually they fit.
They fit, right.
We grew into them, right? And that's how it is with some of our lessons, especially when I know when I'm talking to them and teaching them, what I teach today might not fit. But in a couple years,
They gonna grow
he
into
gonna
it.
grow into that lesson. He gonna grow into that teaching. You know what I'm saying? So your outfits were just a little bit too big. You know what I'm saying, for their experience. So once they grow into it,
Plant the seed.
let up. Gotta give it. Gotta get a seed because there's a lot going on with that seed that you don't see when you cover it up.
And whenever you get through, God get an increase. He's the author and the finisher. But you know, back in the day, the man was bringing home the bacon. 2019, a woman bringing home the pig. That's what my man said. You see what I'm saying?
Right.
Role reversal, man. Oh, thank you. Ooh, Daddy got some groceries. Y'all go help Daddy bring in the bacon.
But
And now Mama coming in and got a pig in her purse.
But-
Got one of them big Coach purses with a pig in
But
it.
spiritually-
Shitless and everything.
we still supposed to know our purpose and
Yeah.
our role.
Yeah, but
Because
it's a disconnect.
that alone
Yeah.
shouldn't make us
What-
dispurpose
Yes.
what he has already
Yes.
designed.
But go ahead, Sean. Go.
But one
go
of the
ahead.
biggest
I'm sorry.
things that hurt the men to today is pride, man.
Pride, man.
One of the biggest things,
Pride.
and it says pride before destruction.
And you know,
And so one of the main things that hurt his brotherhood is that we won't come to another man and sit down and have real hard man, I had a young man come to me one day in the barbershop, man. He was out there hustling, man, had his Carhartt suit on, man. It was cold outside. He'd been hustling all night long, but he knew it was wrong. He done been to penitentiary a couple times. He didn't want to do that. But in order to get the respect in the household, he got to be able to bring something to the table. You unskilled. You ain't got no skills. You haven't never had any victories. The only victories you ever had when the boys were sitting inside the Chevy with the rims on, talking about, man, you got down last night, man. You brought back this, you brought back that, you did this. So that's the only victory he's ever had. So that's the only thing he had working knowledge of success. So he went right back to that.
Right.
But he knew it wasn't right because last time he did it, it sent him to the penitentiary.
Yeah.
But the family saying,
Yeah.
Daddy
yeah.
brought the toys,
Yeah,
Daddy got
yeah,
the food. His
yeah.
wife saying, man, I was able to get a little relief because I'm working 2 jobs.
Right.
But now he came in with that 800.
Right.
Boy, that
Right.
sure helped us
That
out.
sure-
And
Ooh, that's
now
right.
it's celebrated. He got celebrated.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
now he got to go back to the celebration. But he know deep in his mind and his spirit, it ain't right. And so what he told me, he said, man, he came to me in tears, man. Said, Sean, I don't want to do this anymore, man. One early morning at the barbershop, I don't want to do this no more, man.
So he
I
was
want to
at
be able to
war.
get a win
Yeah.
that's going to be legal and positive.
Consistent.
And
Consistent, and I can sleep at night. Now, if I would charge you $800,000 to say what I'm about to say, selling dope is worse than doing dope. Because when you're doing dope, Everything around you, your family, Amron, AT&T, T-Mobile, everybody
Foot
is
Locker.
telling you, stop, you owe me. Ain't no food in the house, baby. Look at you. Your mama telling you, look, you done lost weight, your mouth all crooked. Everything around you when you doing dope is telling you to stop. When you're selling dope, everything around you is celebrating you. You got grown men looking up to you for any crumb you're going to feed them or any drop. You know, your wife got every new purse. Every Wednesday, her and all the girls go to Red Lobster and ball out. You got all the finest clothes. You got a car that's cleaner than everybody in town except for Sean's. And so it's telling you to continue. And so it's a worse drug. It's a worse drug than doing it. Because you get high off of all this false attention. Because you can't even get a phone call once you get locked up.
So that,
ain't nobody putting no money on your books.
So that takes me back to what you were just talking about, crash tests.
Crash dummy.
Crash dummy. Crash dummy.
That takes me right back to that.
Crash dummy. And we get cool watching our folks crash.
But the problem is, we dismiss the dummy like he don't have a lesson. Because it's a lesson in the dummy.
I'm gonna tell
Now,
you.
if he go crash and you don't learn from that, then you done missed the point. Because the dummy serves as a purpose. And we just missed the purpose because of the dummy.
Because all we seen was the dummy and the crash. And see, even Ford, General Motors, Lincoln, Tesla, and all them, when they do the crash dummy test, they do an analyst afterwards, an evaluation afterwards to find out how they can make it better.
Now, hold that thought right there.
Yes, sir.
When we go buy a car, we buy it for what it look like, the color, the features, the bells, the whistles, all that we like on the appearance. How many of us buy for the safety features?
None of us. None of us said, man, it got quadruple airbags.
What's the most important thing about the car? The safety features.
Yeah.
And we don't pay no attention to the safety features.
We like the
It's
slickness.
about how, and
We
then
like the slickness.
and it goes back to what you're talking about, how I look, and once they get those tests, usually the nicest ones have the worst rating.
Hey, Miles Monroe said that's the way we select our women. The same way.
Same way.
We selected the same way. The analysis you just gave, he said that's the way we select our women.
I like
the same way.
T.D. Jake said he loved the way his wife walked, but she got in an accident, couldn't walk like that. So anytime you hear a man saying, I love my woman because of this, that ain't really love, because that can go away. But I got a question. The woman paying for a car, she own a car, she own a house, she buying all the food, all the clothes, she paying to get her hair done and her nails, and the man you described ain't got nothing. How do you live with a woman like that in peace? How can you live with her? Because you know we prideful. Now, a real man, how is he gonna stand the test against a woman like that?
Most men, they've been stripped of their masculinity. They have an identity crisis right now. You got 6'4", 285-pound young boys right now that should be playing football in last night's NFL draft. They want to be in the NFL cheerleading draft. They don't want to be men no more because all the examples of men that they done seen, they don't have no masculinity or no type of male strongness about themselves or an example to even be the men that's represented.
And a lot of football players last night had on tight pants and high rise.
And even some of them, even though that they 6'4" 200 and whatever 80 pounds and this, that, and other, don't mean that they no man.
They lack self-image, which you could tell last night. They lack self-confidence and they lack self-worth.
Yeah, man.
They don't even know what how worthy.
And so we looking at so most of the folks that's looking up to male role models nowadays, so that's what that is a male role model. They looking at a fictitious male role model. They looking at this guy, man, he just got this here contract, man. He gonna go off and make 40, 50, 60, 100 $150 million, you know, because they think that's the goal, is that.
Right.
But you got no substance.
You got no substance.
So those guys, they got the money with no substance, but the 1% don't care about that substance.
Right.
We'll give you the money because we want you to follow. This is the route that we want you to take the rest of the world, the rest of your mentees.
Yes, sir.
We want the rest of your mentees to follow this.
Yeah.
You know, we want you with the high water suits
Yes,
on,
sir.
walking
Yes,
around with a man purse,
Yeah.
confused.
Yeah.
You so confused.
Yeah.
They done shut the church down from even talking about this stuff because y'all didn't settle for the little change that the government then gave you. You know, and so you can't even speak on this no more.
Speak on it.
You know, that's why it's so good to stay independent, ownership, so that you have your own voice, and you'll be able to speak for your people, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
You be able to, and what you talking about, you know, he the minister.
Yeah.
You talk to the rock.
Yeah. Yeah.
You talk to the rock. Your word means something
Yes,
now.
Yeah. Your word means
Your
something.
word means
Yes,
something.
sir.
So now
Yes,
when you
sir.
go and you speak,
Yes, sir.
you know, and that's why folks ain't getting real true deliverance no more.
But let me ask you this. What happens when they do that and they see no power?
That's because
When he speak, and if he moving, the rock, that comes from the power.
Yeah.
They have power to move.
and-
So if we ain't got no power to move situations or reposition or do anything, you get the same result. What's insanity?
Chico,
Doing the same thing.
Chico, you hit a real personal nerve for me. Man, I'm motivated to live right and treat people right and respect my family and respect my wife. I ain't saying I'm perfect, but I'm motivated to do that because, man, I've been praying and my prayer has been answered. I've been laying hands on people and things been happening. And I know it ain't me. Because if it was me, I'd have set up shop 30 years ago and went into business doing it. But I don't want to lose the power because that's the problem in the church. The lady, the professor that came, she was okay. But I was more delighted by the men and women that was in the room. Because when I came to her about ownership and entrepreneurship, she didn't have a clue. So I ain't gonna say I dismissed her because she good at what she do, but it wasn't too much more for me to listen to her about because you got to have ownership, else you ain't changing nothing. If you ain't got nothing, you got to depend on somebody else. You ain't changing nothing. You gonna go with every wind and doctrine as long as they feeding you. But man, what we missing in the church and the reason so many people that love God and really believe in God, but don't go to church because it's modern day entertainment. And they reading and studying at home. They ain't going to church to really learn. They got God in them because they reading their word every day. But they going because the Bible says don't forsake yourself because somebody else might need what you have. But the church has lost its power, man. The church has lost its power, man. Because the scripture said, if I be lifted up, I will draw all to me. So God ain't slacking his promise.
And what he said, I'm going to draw all men. See, and I was listening to Miles, and Miles said something very important that made me slow down in traffic listening to him. He said, when Jesus went to go select his disciples, when he went to go select the disciples, he went and selected 12 men. He go select 12 women. He didn't make women a part of the equation because he said once he selected the 12 disciples, the men and the women and the children followed. That means right now, that means that the man is the solution.
Watch this.
The man is the solution.
Watch this. It's not good for man to be alone. I will make him a helpmeet. Mate, anybody can be your mate, but your meat is going to help complete you. I will make him a helpmeet. You got to go get men. Come on, man, brother, just drive to church. Women coming.
Yeah.
They coming. You not going to press me if you got a church and you got 400 women in there because they coming. Because God, see, if I need some help, I'm always going to ask somebody stronger than me. If I need some help with my insurance, I'm not going to go ask him because he do videos. My man right here do insurance, so I'm going to always ask for help from somebody that's stronger. Women are way stronger than us because God put in them insight, foresight, hindsight, all them sights to help the man accomplish the vision. Anything I do, anything I'm a part of, I'm going to grab some women because they going to make it happen and they going to be consistent. But it's for them to help the man do God's vision.
But but we so distracted. We so distracted. I mean, that's why we at the clubs and we drinking and we doing all kinds of other things because we distracted. You know, and so one thing that made me go to Jericho was the men. When I walked up to the front door, I seen a bunch of men. I seen a bunch of older men that was laborers and carpenters and plumbers and, you know, real manly jobs when I was growing up. And that's what attracted me to the church, you know. And so when I saw a lot of men, because like you said, I've been going to church all my life, and it's always flooded with women. When women are there, you know, because now women, because the reverse role that you said, now women got to go get the spirituality because they now head of the household. So,
But just real quick, just like they have to take over the household, men, God said, y'all ain't finna stop my word. Come on, Overseer Blissett. Come on, Apostle Davida. Come on, get this word. Come on. Come on and get his word out. It's not going to stop. I mean, and there's some people that don't believe that women ought to be ministers. But I read where he said, man, if you don't do what you're supposed to do, I have a rock cry. He'll take a rock and make it cry. You know what I'm saying? So we forcing women to have to be heads of home.
Man, 3-4 jobs. Man, had to cook the bacon, go get the bacon, you know, kill the bacon, you know what I'm saying? They doing everything because we so sleep at the wheel. And then, like I told you, we don't even want the role no more. So many of us got so weak, we don't even want the role no more.
LDA started with 100% men, and in 4 years, it's 65% women in 4 years.
Go ahead,
okay, so look at this. Just like y'all talking about roles, right? And we're talking about being protectors. You know what I'm saying? It took me a while to get it, and shout out to my wife. I appreciate her for finally getting
Go ahead.
to the point where I understand this now. When they battling and going against a lot of stuff, sometimes we understand it in the natural. You know what I'm saying? So when they going and we not there, like say church for instance, and so when they go back home, they fighting in spiritual. So when we ain't on that level spiritually, we ain't protecting them because that's a spiritual battle. And we sending them into war, and they a lot of times warring for us to get on the same page, praying,
tearing.
but we ain't understanding because we carnal, we in the physical. You know what I'm saying? And so when I got a spiritual awakening about that, then I understood it made sense what she was saying and how when you look back over generations, when you go to mama and then grandmama and on down, the lack of male presence spiritually to help them through those battles, because a lot of those spiritual battles just spill over into physical.
Because no matter how your wife, how she jump, she can't get no higher than her head. I don't care how you jump. You can't get no higher than your head. So you cooking that turkey in a little old pot because your mama did and your grandmama, but when you ask the great grandmama, the reason she cooked it in that pot because that's the only one she had.
So it's strategical that the male is not present.
So as we wrap it up right here, man, I mean, it is funny how time flies when you're having fun. Great dialogue on the day. What I would do on closing this program out, man, because I always do this here with my brothers, and when I'm talking to them on the phone and all those things, you know, as I always tell them stuff like this, man, I love you.
I love you.
I love you.
Yeah.
Get somebody a hug today,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Go up to some of these
Yes,
young
sir.
men, hug them,
Yes,
man.
sir.
Show them some love.
Ethan.
This is the way you're
I
supposed
love
to
you.
roll, man. And tell them that you love them, man.
Yes, sir.
It's nothing feminine about that,
No.
because we all need some love to
I
encourage
love
each
you,
other to be a
my
little
brother.
bit better. So I appreciate you guys. Love all you guys out there in television land, everybody on Facebook land. Appreciate you, man. Hopefully we said something that can inspire your life today, change your life today, and make you a better person, make you a better man, better woman, to keep on building up those, what's her name?
Diamond Walker.
So we can build up some more
400,000.
So we can build some more diamond walkers up in the community. Chico, appreciate you gracing us today, man. I really appreciate it. We'll get you back on the program.
Appreciate you
Brother
having me.
Hub, it's always good. And thank you
For
watching
another
another episode
of
of Let the Truth Be Told.
Peace.